sorts of different style quarterbacks, whether it was the Donovan McNabbs, the Michael Vicks, the Peyton Mannings of the world. There's a young man named Kyler Murray out in Arizona who has come onto the scene to a degree and taken it by storm up into the last several weeks. How would you defend Kyler Murray if you were playing against him in this day and age?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's probably cheating to just say do what Bill Belichick did, but that's the model, it seems like, to try to keep him in the pocket. And the thing about Kyler Murray is he's not a bad passer. You often get guys who have the athletic ability that he has or don't have the ability to throw accurately and throw outside breaking routes and deep balls. Like, he does all that well, but I think Bill Belichick did a good job of keeping him in the pocket, and I think that's where his height becomes a bit of a disadvantage. So it's him being a shorter guy doesn't make it so he can't play in the league, but it does make it so some things for him are a lot more difficult. So keeping him in the pocket, forcing him to throw from that spot and trying to keep him from attacking you with his legs on third down is the best way to do it. But to be completely honest, as a defensive back, I don't care about none of that running stuff. I'm just going to try to stay with these receivers. Everybody up front, y'all going to have to figure out how to corral him. That's none of my business.
So do you think that Seattle kind of cracked the code and Bill Belichick decided he was going to use some of the same principles that Seattle did against Kyler Murray?
Well, I mean, I think Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, they're different quarterbacks, but they present the same type of challenges. And I think there's no way to crack the code necessarily. I think it's incumbent on the coaches there to figure out what the next step is, because it's not that these guys are without passing ability. You need to find ways to put the defense in difficult positions. So I would sprint Kyler Murray out, boot him, get him outside the pocket, and make it so that you can't keep him in there. The play action and drop back that keeps Kyler Murray in the pocket, I think it plays into the hands of the defense. So they have to find ways to attack the defense. If it's pick routes and against man-to-man, and find ways to attack them deep so that they can't use spies, they can't keep Kyler Murray in the pocket in that way. And if it's design runs that the quarterbacks, because we all know how the numbers game change, whether quarterback is involved in the running game, it's harder with a guy like Kyler Murray, again, because he's smaller and you are concerned about his injury risk in that situation, but you have to do what you have to do.
Speaking of cracking the code, Doug Peterson in Philadelphia is trying to crack the quarterback code there as well between those two. What is your take on that whole QB situation, Neek?
To me, it feels like that they have an organizational issue there. Obviously, we've been all over how poorly Carson Wentz has played for the last several weeks, for this entire season. But I think that it feels to me like there's some rift between the front office and the coaching staff there, especially when you put Jalen Hurts out there for one play. Like, that reeks of passive aggressive. Like, the management and front office told Doug Peterson, you're going to play Jalen Hurts. And so he's like, all right, I'll play him for one play. Let him throw one pass, and y'all take that. I played him. Like, it just feels like there's some disconnect. And to have Doug Peterson out there running an offense that seems completely ineffective, the playmakers aren't making plays, and the offensive line is not protecting Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz has not gotten better. Like, to me, it just feels like there's a divide in the organization, and no one really knows what direction they want to head in.
Nick, let's stay right there in the NFC East Division. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones compared to head coach Mike McCarthy, who is 3-8 at the moment, to Super Bowl champion head coach Jimmy Johnson, who won 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys. And it's early. What do you make of Jerry's comments in the comparison?
Yeah, I mean, that's a nonsense comparison. Jerry Jones is obviously it feels like he's been around the league long enough to know what he can say to get his name in the news and to get us talking about his team. Because anybody who would compare those two, I think that's absurd. Jerry Jones is not just a football coach. He's like a team builder. They took that nonsense organization back then when they had come off of, I think, one win. He built that organization with all those guys that he went and found. And then he developed that draft board that people still use to this day for trading draft picks. Like, Jimmy Johnson was an innovative coach who I think a lot of people emulated. That's not Mike McCarthy. Like, I don't even understand that comparison. And then to have that comment on the heels of saying Ben DiNucci is the same thing as having a scout team or, a practice squad quarterback play, or practice squad receiver play quarterback. Like, it just seems like Jerry Jones, either he doesn't understand what football is anymore, or he's just trolling us.
How about that? Strong stuff from Dominique Foxworth, ESPN NFL analyst, writer for The Undefeated, who joins us this morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. We're throwing this out here over the next 3.5 hours. Nick, want to get your opinion on it? We'll get the fellas' opinion on it, and everybody listening this morning, too, in just a second. Simply put, right now, the best running back, wide receiver combo in football. A lot of good ones. Which do you think is the best?
Yeah, it's a hard one. There are a lot of good ones. I think I'm going to lean to Henry and Brown in Tennessee. A.J. Brown is a young guy, big, strong, fast guy. He was the other Ole Miss receiver next to DK Metcalf, and he's been a hell of a playmaker. And Derrick Henry is the running back that it seems nobody wants to or is able to tackle in the league right now. So I'm not 100% confident because all the other combos are going through my head that are really good also.
No Kamara,
like,
Michael Thomas?
And Dalvin Cook. Yeah, Kamara Thomas is great, but, like, Thomas doesn't attack you deep, and that's the one thing that, like,
now I'm going to attack you.
I knew it.
Now I'm getting ready to attack you. 146 catches, 13-yard average, offensive player of the year. But never mind. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let you do you.
No, I mean, they are great. We're splitting hairs right now. They're great. And Alvin Kamara, not to mention Alvin Kamara's outstanding back too, pass catcher, running. Like, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not expecting to have a terrible franchise if we have to build around those two guys. But I mean, big plays are big plays. Somebody who's gonna take the roof off the defense is a little bit more concerning than somebody who is gonna move the change consistently. So that's a great combo.
Lying again as a defensive back. Lying again.
All right.
These guys are used to jamming each other at the line of scrimmage, a DB and a wide receiver, Neek and Key, but they're jamming each other on the radio this morning. That is Dominique's answer. Dominique, thanks for joining us this morning.
No problem, fellas.
Thanks, Nick.
I
Okay.
wasn't jamming me at the line of scrimmage. What you mean?
Oh, I saw what you did there, Zubin.
I got to stick up for Nick, man.
Key's face got stinky real quick. He was like, jam?
Boy, please.
Okay, so that's...
You ain't going to pick him up and move him to the side like that. Or you going to put him in your back pocket. That's it. Nick ain't even here to defend himself.
He watching and he here.
Come on, man.
He can call back if he want to.
different definition of portable.
So
Key just picking it up.
Press coverage. Oh, really? Boop. Thank you. I'm going to go down the field now.
So that is Dominique's answer. He's going with the Titans duo. So we're asking everybody on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed and the call-in line, simply put, think about it for a second, because it's not as easy as just coming up with the best QB. You got to just put a little thought into it. The best running back wide receiver combo in football. Be a part of our nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed, ESPN Nation, presented by Dr. Pepper. It's official. College football is back. So is your favorite Dr. Pepper-loving college football town, Fansville. Head to a store near you to treat your inner college football fan to an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. 888-SAY-ESPN or hit us up on Key JNZ, best running back wide receiver combo in the NFL. We would love to hear your thoughts. I want to get the thoughts of the fellas. I just want to mention, he did mention Derrick Henry and AJ. Derrick Henry is on track. People aren't talking about this because there's so much QB talk in the MVP conversation in general. There has not been a repeat rushing champion in about 13 or 14 years. LaDainian Tomlinson was the NFL's last repeat rushing champion. Derrick Henry is on track to do that, well, for whatever that's worth. Key, your thoughts? I'm pretty sure I know where we're going here with the best running back wide receiver combo in football.
Look, man, there's a ton of them, like Neek was saying. And I could take Kenyon Drake and Kyler Murray and say, okay, I like that if I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan. I could certainly take A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry. I could take Kamara, and Michael Thomas. You can find different ones. If Dak Prescott was playing and Zeke was having a good year, you could point to those two. I could look at Dalvin Cook and Jefferson or Thielen. It depends on which one I want to put into that slot. So he's right about that. But for my money, yes, for my money, I'm going to go with my nephew, Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints, and Alvin Kamara. The funny thing is, I love to hear defensive backs when they say, "Oh, he can't, he can't take the top off." He does what they ask him to do. When you catch 140-something passes, you're going to die slowly playing against him. You're going to die, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to get beat down A guy runs a slant, first down. You know it's coming. You can't stop it.
Right.
Oh, he's going to run an out route on you, 15-yard gain. He's running the in cut. He's running a deep crosser, 25-yard game. Oh, now in the red zone. I think I know what's coming, a fade. Boom, boom, bam. Oh, he ran a slant. Damn. That's more lethal to me. Okay, when you look at outside of Tyreek Hill and maybe a Will Fuller on a clean situation, it's not a whole lot of dudes that's just flat out outrunning you. DK Metcalf put Darius Slay in the cooker the other night on the deep post. If he would have hit him a little more precise with the outside leverage and got inside of him, he'd have ran away from him clean. And so when you start to look at certain receivers, you break down different skill sets. I'm taking a dude that's going to move the chains. And when I always talk about guys that move the chains, those are the ones that really make all the money. Outside of a few outliers of home run hitters, the home run hitters don't make the money. It's the possession so-called receivers that's the highest paid dudes at that position in the National Football League.
I'm with you on the Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara